Hi, I'm Samantha, and I want to start by saying something important. I see you. I see the late nights you've spent perfecting your resume. I see the disappointment when another application disappears into the void. I see the self-doubt creeping in, making you question your worth and your qualifications. And I want you to know that every single feeling you're experiencing is valid and shared by millions of talented professionals just like you. The job market can feel impersonal and discouraging, but your career story deserves to be told in a way that captures attention and opens doors. That's exactly what Resume Flow does. We take your unique experiences, skills, and aspirations and craft them into a compelling narrative that employers can't ignore. You're not just looking for any job. You're looking for the right opportunity that recognizes your value and propels your career forward. With Resume Flow's AI-powered insights and optimization tools, we're going to make sure that opportunity finds you. Your breakthrough moment is closer than you think. Let's create it together.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Thought you was riding. Thought you was 10 toes down. The second sun shiny, can you fold it? It's cool though. You just taught me how to move. Watch this. Used to think we was a unit, thought the back was covered. Thought you was my diamond, thought you was my brother. Smiling in my face, yeah, you really played a part. Acting like you with me, had me giving you my heart. But the loyalty was plastic, man, that shit was see-through. Waited for your moment, that's what fake ones be do. Soon as opportunity came, knocking on the door, you ain't even hesitate, you just went and asked for more. You ain't look back once, just went your own way. Show me who you was, man, I got nothing left to say. I ain't mad, I ain't bitter, ain't no salt to spill. You just lit a fire, man, you just made the focus real. This a full court press, I ain't letting up. Put myself first, I'm filling my own cup. No empathy, no sympathy, I'm on my purpose. Y'all just flaky people, man, you made me nervous. This a full court press, I am all out focused. You ain't on my team, then you just a locust. I ain't mad, I'm motivated, time to run the score. Yeah, I'm locked in, man, I'm kicking down the door. perfecting purpose.
What's good? What's good? What's good? What is happening, good people? How is everyone doing? Let me do a quick check to make sure that my soundboard is working.
How dare you?
It is working. All right, we are good to go. I am excited. I am so happy to be here with you guys today. I have been waiting for Sunday since last Sunday because I am so excited to continue working on the speech app. We're going to be connecting Amazon Transcribe to our speech app. Right now, I'm calling it Speak Precisely. The name might change. I don't know, but I am really excited about what it's able to do, how much we have done. It was just a thought idea, a thought experiment, and now we are here. But let me stop being rude. I'm Techo Trouf. We are Engineer Twin. This is Software Explorations. It is Sunday, November 9th. Tomorrow, we are going to be in double digits of November. Can you believe that? Can you believe how fast the year is going? Back in March, Miss Freckles, to be specific, not to call out any names, but Miss Freckles, I said we are practically in 2026 already, and she argued me down.
Bruh.
She argued me down. But look at where we're at now. Look at where we are at now. We are right around the corner. December is just 20-ish days away. It'll be here in no time. It will be here in no time. And then we roll through December. December goes by really, really fast. We roll through December and 2026, boom, hits us right in the face, like a bop, right there. A straight cross right in the face. Not even a jab, a cross. Straight cross. Or a straight, whatever. I'm not a boxing person. Anyways, let's get ready. And I don't even like getting ready. I like to be ready. So let's be ready. Let's be ready for what is to come. Let's prepare for 2026, starting right now in 2025, November 9th, 2025, Sunday, November 9th, 2025. Let's get ready. Let's be ready for what is coming up down the road. All right. You see layoffs running. Layoffs are happening. AI is quote unquote replacing people. The government is still shut down. No sound? Okay. No sound. But the government is shut down. What are you going to do? Are you going to be relying on them? Or are you going to bet on yourself? Better late than never. This thing has been acting weird since yesterday, where it's like, sometimes it's kind of delayed. Let me see how much usage it's getting. Hold on 1 second. I do not like that type of stuff. It's not bad. Try that one more time. Okay, there we go. I don't know, it's been kind of weird. Anyways, are you ready? Are you ready? Hit you with one of these.
Are you ready?
Are you ready for 2025? For 2026? 2025. Are you ready for 2026? Let's get ready. All right. I have a really, really interesting icebreaker for you, which it's a lot about me, but I'm pretty sure it can relate to you. So we'll get into that. I have some great break time topics, but what I'm really excited to do more than anything is work on this app, because we are on the brink of seeing something spectacular. So let me get the show started off right. I'm going to take care of a little bit of housekeeping before we jump into all of the festivities. First and foremost, I want to say thank you so much, because guess what? Tech, for the most part, is not always the most interesting, the most fun thing to do, unless you are able to take it and grab it and say, all right, I am going to make this adaptable to me. Instead of you being adaptable to boring lines of code, you gamify it. And that's what I do. And that's what I try to present to you to get you in the right mindset to take on this tech game, this AI stack, this tech stack. That is my mission, to help you rethink how you see it, so that you can't, so you're not the one saying, oh, tech is so boring. No. The reason that I have no problem working so much, working 9 to 5, then working on all these videos, editing, recording, is because I'm learning something new every day. And it is so exciting for me. So that's why I try to bring that to you. And for that in return, you give me all the views, all the subscriptions, all of that good stuff. And for you spending your time with me, allowing me to give you value and you returning that as an investment in me, I want to tell you that I truly, truly appreciate you from the bottom of my heart.
I appreciate you.
All right, I really do. That means a lot to me. So thank you to whether you've been with me for a very, very long time or you are brand new to the channel. I just hope that I'm adding value to you. And if there is something, anything that you believe that I should touch on that'll help you in your road, in your development, let me know. And I guarantee you that I will get on it and I will make content about it for you to help you grow in whatever endeavors you are. I mean, I don't normally do videos about OBS and stuff like that, but last week I showed how to set up the sound. And this week I'm going to be showing how I was able to build a plugin and make that plugin available to download. And you saw me use it last time. You're going to see me use it today, a YouTube video plugin. And then following that, I'm going to make the other video about what we're doing right now, recording and streaming in vertical mode at the same time that we are recording and streaming in horizontal mode, 16:9 and 9:16. I'm going to make a video for that too. I was going to make it this week, but I wanted to get out the YouTube one earlier. So I'm going to do that one. But then the following week, I'm going to do, so I adapt my content, my tech content to wherever we are at, whatever I need, whatever you need. That's how we get down on this channel. And because of that, that's why I truly appreciate every last one of you. Next up, my tech barbarians, my Patreon members, shout out to every last one of you who work so hard day in and day out. I was supposed to have a Scrum night tonight. It got canceled. Why did it get canceled? Well, because I have one tech barbarian who is in the process of moving, and it's been a rough weekend, a rough couple of weeks, but a rough weekend. And it's like, oh, is it possible we can do it another day? Like, we'll just push it for 2 weeks, right? But working so hard, and I know it was hard for them to ask if we could push it just by 1 day. But the level of work and effort that I see is out of this world. Another one of my tech barbarians reached out to me and says, hey, I won't be able to make the meeting tonight because I'm actually running in a marathon. And I was like, what? That is absolutely awesome. And I was like, you know what? For my tech barbarians, I will push Scrum Night 2 weeks. Extend the sprint. We can pull some more work in, but we are so multifaceted, building applications, self-development, anything and everything that we can do so that we can win, That's why I will die on this hill that we, the tech barbarians, are the very, very best.
We the best.
We are the best. We are the best. All right. So keep in mind, Scrum Night, 2 weeks from tonight. All right. 2 weeks from tonight. Vibe Code and Chill next Saturday. Same schedule, right? Because I can take care of Vibe Code and Chill on my own. But for Scrum Night, I need the team there. I need the crew there. All right. Last but certainly not least, shout out to my tech mercenaries out there, the YouTube channel members who allow me to be on this platform as well as many other platforms and get this message out across the world. We're in about like 10 to 12 different languages. Auto dub, that means it's not just the captions, it is the actual voice. Auto dubbing of the voice. It's not my voice, but it is a voice that is getting this tech message out across the world. So while we have a lot of, reaction channels and giving people talking about relationships and stuff like that, which they take off, tech channels are a little bit more difficult to get off the ground, but the amount of value that it adds to you as well as to me, because guess what? I want to show you how I think, but I'm also able to work and get all these different ideas. And when I have my vibe coding show, I have people like Junior who join me and gives me even more ideas that I have implemented. So Junior, look out for next vibe coding show. You're going to see what we spoke about last time implemented on the various different applications. So really, really cool stuff that we are working on. And I just think that across the YouTube members, the Patreon members, and all of the subscribers, we work so hard and we are continuing to get it, but let's continue. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right. Okay. So quick announcements. Tomorrow, noon Eastern time, Candid Conversations. I'm going to be talking about chasing promotions. Yes. Chasing. Are you trying to get promoted? Are you chasing that promotion? Well, 3 things that could be hindering your opportunity to get promoted. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow on Candid Conversations, premiering at noon Eastern time. I will be in the chat. Most likely, unless he's at the gym, Junior will be in the chat as well. Possibly, Mr. Rod Brown might be there. I don't know. Maybe not. And hopefully Magnetar should be there as well. All right. So the crew, shout out to the crew. All right. So that's tomorrow. And then Tuesday night, we're going to be going live. We'll continue working on, I have a couple of mixed things. So maybe on Tuesday, I'll continue with the time cost calculator, and then possibly on Thursday, something that came out of the YouTube app, or the YouTube OBS plugin that I wanted to give a try. So we'll figure it out. We will figure it out this week, but really, really good stuff coming out this week. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with you, having the conversation. And like I said, we have some great break time conversations as well. All right. I'm going to check the chat real quick, and then we shall get to the nitty gritty to get to work. All right. So let me see. We got my guy in the building, Junior Largy says, what's up, coach? What's up, Junior? I'm not even going to ask this because I know the answer. I'm not going to ask how you're doing. I know that you are doing phenomenal. And for that, I love that. And shout out to my guy, Junior. Junior says, I should have an early start tomorrow and be done with the gym by 12. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Look, I saw Junior do a human flag on Instagram, and I was like, what is this? The amount of shoulder strength that is it the shoulder that you're working out when you do that? Like, I'm telling you, he sideways on a pole. I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy. I've seen Junior doing like these turns and stuff like that. I'm like, what in the world is going on over here? Crazy stuff. Junior says that I'm looking into how to set up OBS Studio for did I have it on iPad? I never knew. Let me see. OBS iPad. You cannot install full OBS Studio application on an iPad, but you can use your iPad with running OBS with OBS running on a computer through screen mirroring and a USB capture card connection. For a true mobile streaming experience, use a dedicated iPad app like Switcher Studio or Cam. Okay, so I'm not really sure if you can get OBS Studio on an iPad. I never heard of that before. I heard of it on a Mac and on a PC, of course, but never really heard of it on an iPad unless that's something new. But I don't know. All right, let me see. Here it says, it's always wonderful. I'm here and ready and able to learn. Junior says shoulders and core and arms. And that thing is crazy. That human flag is pretty much a full body work. That is some serious core strength right there to be able to like. And how long are you able to hold it for now? Because I remember when I first saw you, you said it was like about 10 seconds? What are you holding it for now? If you're still doing the human flag, says, well, you just answered that for me. What was the app they recommended using? They said that you could use an app called Switcher Studio or Camo Studio. I'm not familiar. I think I'm somewhat familiar with Camo Studio. I'm not familiar with Switcher Studio, so you can check those two out. All right, let me see. All right, so we are actually going to be getting to work. Actually, no, we're not getting to work. I have icebreaker. I do have an icebreaker to kick us off with. All right. I don't want to talk about this icebreaker, but I have to, because if I did not, I would be doing every last one of you a disservice. Let's get to it. So icebreaker for today. Just because you have done the work doesn't mean that others have. We are familiar with so many people, so many influencers on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, who are talking about, they're giving advice to people on, life and relationships and careers and all this type of stuff. And one, you have no idea who those people actually are, their backstory, like how they're actually living their lives. But some of them, they actually do give some decent advice. The problem that I've seen, though, a lot of times is, and it's not necessarily the person giving the advice, a lot of times it's the people listening to the advice, where here's one of the problems, right? What a certain segment of the people who hear it is, they're hearing what is wrong with everybody else, and they never actually do a reflection. They never do look at the man or woman in the mirror about what is wrong with themselves. So they might not actually be the ones who are doing the work, right? And now you might encounter this person, encounter these people, and you might have done the work. You might have said, all right, I have this going wrong with me, that going wrong with me, and I'm going to go ahead and fix it. And because these people might be in your same circles or vicinities, or they are able to regurgitate the same talking points that somebody else might, who might have actually done the work, but they didn't. They're just looking for other people to say, okay, this person didn't do the work, but they haven't done it themselves. Now you start to think that you're the same as them. You think the same and stuff like that until you actually start to interact. I've seen so many videos, so many live streams where, like, you'll have people coming up talking about all this, like all the stuff that they heard on the internet. And then when they start to talk, you're like, well, the points that you're saying, they make sense. However, that's not you. That is not you. I think that is a huge problem that I've been seeing happening, where people, they're able to analyze and criticize and assess everybody else, right? But they never actually look at themselves to see that, look, I'm dusty. Now, you come across them and you think, oh, because they are subscribed to this person, because they run in these circles, because they say these talking points, that they're on the same wavelength as you. And guess what? They are not. We really need to stop listening to the words that people say and assess the actions that they do. I'm going to include myself in this, but because we, as a group of people, as humans, are such hypocrites. We are the biggest hypocrites. The person that you see in the mirror, that is the biggest hypocrite that you know. I'm including myself in this because we can see, and Junior, back me up on this. Drop me the King James Version. Take out the plank in your own eye. Is that how it goes? Because we can see what's wrong with everybody else. And then they'll come up and say, oh, this and that and this and that. And then you ask them about them, and their life is a total mess. So I want to warn you against what maybe did the work in your life, maybe you didn't. I don't know, right? But remember, just because you see things one way, it doesn't mean that everybody else has done the work for themselves. It doesn't even mean that you've done the work. But if you have done the work, it doesn't mean the people that you're going to be coming across that they have done the work. So you have to be wise as a dove. Is it wise as a dove? No. Help me. Where's Rod Brown when I need him? Right? But what is it? Something as a dove, wise as a serpent. I don't. Whatever. Don't quote me on that. Don't. But you have to be more strategic. And I'm going to leave you with a little strategy. Maybe one strategy, right? One strategy. Whenever you encounter someone who wants to befriend you, cozy up to you, whatever, try to relate to you, yeah, you cannot ever let your guard down. You do not trust anyone. Because so many people, they are the masters. They are excellent at coming to you as a wolf in sheep's clothing. So you have to test everything. And how do you test somebody? Do you remember, maybe this is not the best example, but do you guys remember Making the Band? When Diddy would have the crew go and do these crazy things. That's a test. But you don't have to ask somebody to go do something crazy, but here's the ultimate test to see if somebody is serious or not. Listen to what they say. If they say, "Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to read some book. Whatever it is that they're going to do." Ask them about it. You got to pay attention. You ask them about it. Oh, I heard back in the days. Oh, I want to get into tech. Oh, they want to talk to you. They want to talk to me. Never reached out. Ask them about the things that they say that they want to do. That is how you find out if somebody is serious or not. If they say they want to do it, you ask, "Oh, when do you want to do it?" Like you just ask them follow-up questions. I want to get into tech. Oh, like frozen. What's going on here? Give me a second. What the heck? Ooh. Okay, sorry. My other screen got frozen on me. All right, so but you ask them what is it that you are planning to do about it? Ooh, what just happened here? Hold on. Things are going a little crazy on me. Okay, this is still connected. All right, let's finish this off and then I'll fix whatever's going on. But you need to test what people are telling you to make sure that they are actually going to follow up on the things that they it's not even you ask them to do something. Are they going to do what they say that they want to do? And then when you ask them to do something, if you ask them to do something, how are they going to are they going to actually follow through on it, or are they going to brush it off? That is how I see that you should be testing people, to make sure that they are serious about the thing that they say that they want to do. All right. Anyways, that's my icebreaker. I'm not sure what I have to fix this thing. Something weird just happened to me here. Give me a second here. Let's see what's going on. All my monitors just turned off on me. Let me see what's going. Okay. Weird. Give me a second.
Alarm clock screams, man, it's 4 a.m. Sun ain't even thinking, I'm already in. Hit the iron clanging beast mode, fully activated. Mine is sharp and fast, it ain't no time to crash. Quick rinse, hit the box, on the session, I'm heating up. Clear the mind, get the toxins out, I'm leveling up. By the time you waking up, I'm already past the peak. Got my first W before you even brush your teeth. Logging 9 to 5, yeah, the normal job. Software death for them, I'm a higher prop. Software killer, co-committed, pull requested clean. But that's just the warm up, know what I mean. Don't you hit my phone, man, I'm not available. Every minute on my schedule's unassailable. I don't got the time, man, I'm on a mission. You see a busy schedule, I see ammunition. I love this damn grind, I don't need a break. You can sleep on me, I'll be wide awake. Got no vacancy, my calendar is live. I'm obsessed with winning, man, I never be stopped. Clock out at 5, swat the keyboard, hit the street. Precision jiu-jitsu, man, I don't retreat. Mind weight on the max, I'm rolling, tap and learn. Keeps my mind sharp, gotta get the burn. Then I flip the switch, man, the damn mode's on. Coaching pretty ball out on the damn lawn. Playing with my son Benji, give him all he needs. Yeah, I feed my family and I plant my seeds. Home quick mail, then a second son ahead. Back to the command center, man, I never quit. Don't you hit my phone, man, I'm not available. Every minute on my schedule's unassailable. I don't got the time, man, I'm on a mission. We see a busy schedule, I see ammunition. I love this damn grind, I don't need a break. You can sleep on me, I'll be wide awake. Got no vacancy, my calendar is live. I'm obsessed with winning, man, I'll never be stopped. Yeah. My focus is insane, man, how you think I last? Twice a week I'm doing 48-hour fast. Sometimes 72, no food, just a clarity. You see a sacrifice, I see the real of me. Now the week ain't done, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday 2 hour till live stream, ain't no time for wordplay. Saturdays for content, ain't no time to chill. Recording 3 new videos, man, the flow is ill. Then the edit, grind, chop and make it clean. Metadata thumbnails, build a whole machine. Schedule out the content, coaching my barbarians. This ain't word to me, this is oxygen. Don't you hit my phone, man, I'm not available. Every minute on my schedule's unassailable. I don't got the time, man, I'm on a mission. You see a busy schedule, I see ammunition. I love this damn grind, I don't need a break. You can sleep on me, I'll be wide awake. Got no vacancy, my calendar is live. I'm obsessed with winning, man, I'll never be stopped. Like that.
All right, I'm back. I had a quick little crisis where I was running out of disk space, and then so all my monitors turned off, and I was like, so I need to do after this show, I have to go and back up all of my files because I just do a lot of work on this computer, so I need to move some things around. But we should be all right, hopefully, for the rest of the show. If it happens again, I'll probably have to delete some more stuff. But when you work like this, things happen. All right, let me check the chat, and then we're gonna get to our first segment of work. All right, let's see. So let me go through the chat. Junior says, I think the most is now 15 seconds. I do it 5 days a week to keep it up. We got Sophia in the building. Hit me with a hi. Hey, Sophia, how are you doing? So happy to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Junior says, it is Matthew 10:16 from the King James version, of course. It says, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Exactly. I totally butchered that one though when I was talking about it. And Junior says, that's a fact. By their fruits, a lot of people talk and don't follow through. That is a fact right there. And it says, Matthew 7:5 from the King James version says, thou hypocrites, first cast out the beam out thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. Exactly. That's why I don't have any brothers, you know? And Junior says, and that's a fact that a lot of people have ideas and no follow through. That's why I'm slowly and silently building. God told me to shut up and work. I think I have a song called. I think I have a song called "Shut Up and Produce." Did I ever put that on an album? I don't know if I ever put that on an album, but I do have a song called "Shut Up and Produce." Get things done, right? Let me see. And Junior says, "Crisis averted. Time for a large." So this laptop, believe it or not, is a 1 terabyte laptop, but in my process of editing videos and then moving them over to the backup hard drive, it slows down sometimes. What I really need to do is plug up get another external hard drive and just leave it on the desk, and then have things automatically sync. Maybe that'll be a Christmas project. I don't know. That might be a Christmas project. All right. But we'll see. It says, I don't know if that's a song on the album. Says, I don't know if that song was on the album, but you did play. Yeah, I don't think I put on, I don't know, but I did play that before. Shut Up and Produce. All right. All right. We are going to actually get to work today. So integrating Amazon Transcribe with the speech coaching app. All right. All right. What I need to do, I need to open up Android Studio. I have a few things to do. We need to open up Android Studio. I'm going to put it on the screen over here. I don't know if that's my left or your left or my right or your right, but we're going to put it on this screen over here. And I also have the 2-screen mode. I haven't had a chance to edit it much, but it'll work for what it is. It's no big deal. But we have that. So we have this one, and then over here, I need to log into Amazon. So let me go and log into Amazon, and then I'm going to set up the timer. All right. AWS console.aws. I don't know if Google has a similar tool to Amazon Transcribe, but I have no problem using Amazon. All right, let's log in. But like, you know, like how sometimes you can see a red flag and not a tragedy, but I don't know, a catastrophe about to happen from a mile away, but the people who are going towards it, they can't really see it, you know, because they're not being as discerning that they should be, because they're basing things off of the words of people and not necessarily the actions of people. All right, let me log into AWS and then we can get to work. Let's go with this one. All right, we are in. Okay, so I'm going to throw up our first 20 minutes on the clock. Why is my, hold on, give me a second. Why is my Stream Deck sound not coming through? Hold on, let's do that over again. Properties, recapture. And I'm going, let's try that again. There we go. All right. Okay, so let's start off with going to this screen over here where there is nothing showing there. Hold on, let me see what's going on over there. That should be showing. Let's go to left side monitor. Display capture. Back. 24. That is literally, where is, okay, hold on one second. Something weird is happening. Recapture. If I go to this one, and then we go to this one. Okay, there we go. That was so weird. Okay, so we're good. All right, so this is Android Studio. And we need to start plugging in our AWS stuff, right? So we have our, so it's asking for our AWS key, our AWS secret, our AWS region. That's going to go into what do you call it? Supabase, right? So we need to start up Supabase as well. So let me go and find me a terminal, and we are going to do, okay, so I will clear that out, and I'm gonna pull up a terminal over here, and we're gonna do Supabase start, and need to install the following package. Do we? Okay. Allow. Why is it downloading something? I thought we already had it installed. Hold on a second. Docker ps docker ls a. That should be something. What the docker ls help. Oh, docker psa. That is weird. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but I thought we already had Supabase. I mean, I know we had Supabase already installed, but okay, download a newer one, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. That's weird. I don't know why it's pulling it over again. I thought we already had all this taken care of, but maybe it was using something older and they made some updates to it, so they have to re-download it. In the meantime, while it's doing that, let's go over to hold on, which one it's using over here. What in the world is going on today? All right, let's go to okay. I'm so confused right now. All right, so we caught that. All right, so let's go to transcribe. I'm not transcribe. And we are going to so let's watch this a 90-second video real quick, right? So that we can have a better understanding of what transcribe is. I'm gonna go and pull this up into my little app here, my plugin. All right, so let's watch this real quick.
Amazon Transcribe uses deep learning technology to automatically convert speech to text, so you can skip taking notes and stay fully engaged in the conversation. But oftentimes, when learning new AI ML services, you're forced to rely on external resources, and this fragmentation can lead to hundreds of wasted hours. Amazon offers a threaded learning journey, guiding you from discovery to building your own use cases. Develop your skills by accessing simple interactive demos, videos, courses, and labs, and complete them all in under a day. Start with our free 5-minute interactive demo that puts you in the shoes of a contact center agent, walking you through taking a call, where you'll see how real-time transcription, customer sentiment, and personal information redaction work. You don't need an AWS account to begin. Throughout, you're prompted to test your knowledge, ensuring you walk away with a better understanding of Amazon Transcribe. After, you can follow our guided lab to get hands-on experience and dive even deeper into the service, building a stronger foundation of practical knowledge. Finally, take a self-paced free course and see how its features can be used for your specific industry. Elevate your skills today by learning how to use Amazon Transcribe.
So that is Amazon Transcribe. And that's what we're going to be using to be able to capture the to be able to capture what is like basically what this application is going to be using. It's going to use Amazon Transcribe to be able to basically parse your speech to capture how fast you're speaking, how many words per minute, to capture how many times you're using filler words like like, things like that. Right. All right. So we have our Supabase that is started. And we are going to, so let's make sure we can access it. I'm going to go and take this right here. And I'm going to go to, oops. Let's go to, and no route match those values. So that's the API URL. We need the studio URL. All right, let's take the studio, which is going to be this one. Cool, perfect. All right, default project. I don't know if the publishable key had changed from last time, but let's see. I don't know. This is about the AI assistant. Don't need it right now. Okay, so we're gonna get back to work. So let's say we need to do. So from what I can see, we need to add an AWS access key, AWS secret access key, and AWS region. Where was the last? All right, there we go here. And the last thing it said that, all right, I've configured your iOS application to connect to your Supabase instance. I configured your Mac OS application to allow, all right, so that's that. Which one was the last one that we did? Okay, I think it was this one. I tried to record. So I've updated the speech to text. All right, so this is where we're at. So last week we tried to record and it was using dummy data. And it said you need to set up your secrets for AWS and set your region and all that stuff. So we need to do that in order to be able to get it to work. I know they have the Supabase secret set thing. I don't know if you can do it, if I can do it directly. I mean, I know how I can do it directly through the Supabase interface. So we're gonna try it first with the command line, and then I'm gonna try one with the UI for Supabase. All right. So we'll start off with the region because the region is not that deep. It's not very like critical. So we need to, all right, so let's see. All right. I have updated the speech to text to integrate with the transcribe. The function is now configured to use the AWS SDK and will securely access your credentials from Supabase secrets. Before this will work, you need to set your Supabase secrets, run the following command in your terminal, replacing the placeholder value with your actual AWS credentials. All right, so I'm going to do the region because that's going to be the easiest one to start off with. We're going to do US East 1. You guys remember US East 1 was the one that had the major outage back on October 20th. We're going to do, okay, so let me get my terminal. And we are going to say, close that one out. All right, we're going to say Supabase secrets set AWS region equals US East 1. Ooh, no Supabase command found. Maybe it has to be npx Supabase. Set. I can just go like this. What was the one that I use? And we could just go here, npx. Let's see if that works. All right, so it says access token not provided. Supply an access token by running Supabase login or setting the Supabase access token environment. Okay, so let's do Supabase login or npx Supabase login. All right, press enter to open your browser. Okay, enter. All right, so it opened this browser automatically for me. It's logging in. Your Supabase account is being used. Okay, so now I have to copy this code right here. And I go back and I am going to paste that code And now we're in. Okay, cool. So now I can go back and do my npx with base secrets AWS region equals US East 1. And what is this? That is not, oh, that's not what I wanted. That took me, all right, so that took me to the other, oh, okay, hold on. That is not what I wanted. All right, let's stop that. Shoot. Let's think. So basically what happened was when I did the Superbase login, it took me to my Superbase that is hosted on the web and not my local host Superbase, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to Gemini and we're gonna say I am trying to configure my Superbase CLI to connect to my local host Docker install of Superbase for an app that I am developing. How could I do that? So yeah, that's basically what happened to us right there, is that Superbase login took us to the regular Superbase site. So there has to be some type of parameter to specify that you're doing it locally. Connecting to the CLI in your Docker instance is a straightforward process, mainly handled by two commands, Superbase init and Superbase start. The CLI is designed to work from within your project's root directory. Here's the standard workflow. Okay, so I guess we haven't done Superbase init yet. So let's go. Let me do a two-screener. Do I have a shortcut for that? I don't think so. You create a shortcut for it. We can use let's do that. So we can do Superbase init, generate VS Code settings for Dino. No. Generate IntelliJ. Yes, I like IntelliJ. All right, Superbase init. Please install the Dino plugin for, okay, how do I do that? Install, all right, let's go. How do we install the Dino plugin? File. Settings. Oh, but they said for IntelliJ, not for, that's for, all right, we're not using IntelliJ anyway, so I whatever. Okay, now if we, so we have our init done, and they said that we need to, okay, if this command creates a new /Superbase directory, do we have that? Let me see. Okay, Superbase directory, cool. This directory will hold all your project specific Superbase configurations, including migrations, function stubs, and config.toml. Start the local Superbase stack. Next run the start command. This is what actually, okay, so we already have, I'm gonna stop, I guess. Once this command finishes, your Superbase instance is running and the CLI is automatically configured to communicate with it, as long as you run commands from this directory. So if we now do the npx Superbase secrets region 1, it's gonna take us to, still over there. So I'm gonna do clear Superbase npx Superbase stop and npx Supabase start. Okay, so let's see if now this will actually get us connected using our CLI. Because that's how we are going to be able to, that's how we're going to be able to okay, make that connection. Got that. Got that. So we have our init done. So now how do I, so if I do npx supabase status S3 region local. Okay, that's correct. So now if I was to do set the region, all right, it keeps going. Okay, so I'm going to say that I am doing this command right here. And I'm going to go to here. I am doing this command. I want to set the secret for the local hosting, for the local hosted Supabase, but it continues to bring up what I have in the Supabase cloud. Continue to bring up the projects that I have in Supabase cloud. Because I need to get that to go to my local one because we are developing locally. I would suppose there should be like some type of, when you say to log into, which to log into? The command is only, oh, it's only for remote cloud hosted. The correct way to do it, to set the variables for your Docker local instance, specifically for your local edge functions, to use the .env. Okay, I didn't know that. All right. So the instructions that they were giving us here is technically wrong, I guess. So if we go to, I don't even see a .env file in here. If we go to, I wonder if that's correct. All right, so let's try to create a .env file then. Let's go over here. And we say new file.env. And we say sure. And here we're going to say AWS region equals US East 1. And we're going to add this AWS secret key as well. And we will put this AWS access key. And then they say to restart Supabase, which would be npx Supabase stop and npx Supabase start. So that way it'll stop it and start it all in one go. And I would assume that I should be able to go to the edge functions and find that I have the region variable now in place. So we'll check that real quick and then we're going to go to break. All right, it started back up. Let's go to over here. If we refresh edge functions, secrets, there are no secrets. There are no secrets. Okay, hold on. Through in .env. Okay, so it has to be placed. All right, so let's do this real quick. These instructions, I tell you, sometimes they are a little bit, for lack of better words, shady. So that goes into the functions folder. All right, I'm gonna stop it and start it one more time. And now that we have it here, it should show up inside of the the admin for Supabase. And then we can go to break for real. If we go here and we refresh, local secrets can be loaded in either. Okay, so I guess it should be there. I guess it should be there. I can't verify it, but I suppose that it's there. But whatever, we shall go to break, and then we will get back to adding more stuff, see if it works. We need to go into Amazon, get our secret access key and our secret key and our access key ID to move on to the next step. All right, but it is now break time. Let me see what we have in the chat before we get to our first break time conversation. All right, we have Junior says, yes, absolutely. Most people ignore the warning signs, just like in NYC. The new mayor, but some people don't know any better.
How dare you?
They don't. They really don't. Says, I was going to tell you that since your issue, your sounds weren't coming through. Really? Let me see. Let me give it a try.
How dare you?
That's not coming through clearly? Let me see something. Let me know how that sounded. We have audio. It's so low. Let's go with a good 80. Let's go with a good 70. Let me know how that was. Let me know how that was, Junior. Let me see what else we got. All right, that's everything. Okay, so first break time topic we're going to be jumping into is vibe coding the secret weapon for small businesses? Spoiler alert, the answer is yes, because it is my secret weapon, and I am barely a small business, and it is my secret weapon. So imagine for a small business how much faster it's able to go. Let's go ahead and read this article brought to us by Forbes. Right? I wanted to get into this one last time, but I wasn't able to. So let's go ahead and read this together. Vibe coding is becoming a small business superpower. All right, zoom in. All right, there you go. So, vibe coding so this article was written also by Turdon. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I never really seen I guess McDonald. Maybe I haven't seen it in a first name, where you have like a capital right there in the middle of the name. On a first name, I've seen it, last name, Debo, okay. Anyways, it says, vibe coding for small businesses is transforming how entrepreneurs build software. No coding bootcamp or developer required. Yeah, that's Turdon. I don't know about that. you may not need the original amount or quality of developers and engineers, but you kind of need to, like, if you want to be successful, you're going to need some type of developer or development skills. Imagine telling an AI about your dream app on Friday and launching it by Monday using plain English. All right, that does not happen. There is no app worth its salt that's going to be that good unless you spend $1,000 vibe coding it, and it's still, you don't know what you're talking about, so it's not going to be that good. Anyhow, let's see. It says, for many small and medium-sized businesses, vibe coding is much more than another technology trend. It's a faster way to launch with lower costs and larger results. That I definitely agree with. I agree with that 100%. For many small and medium-sized businesses, vibe coding is much more than just a technology. It's also a faster way to launch, smaller margins and larger results. I agree with that as well. So what is vibe coding actually? I asked this question on X the other day. I'm not sure what's the response we're going to get, right? Vibe coding is amazingly different from traditional app development. Rather than writing each line of code, you tell a computer what you want to do, and I want a client portal where clients can schedule and make payments, and an AI will write the code for you. See, there are competing answers on what vibe coding actually is, because some people will say vibe coding is just letting AI write the code for you, and other people will say vibe coding is when you are writing code without a particular end goal or structure. You're just like prototyping in a way where you can use AI to do that, but you can also vibe code without the use of AI, right? Because traditional coding is you're involving like stories and a format and something that you're trying to get to. Vibe coding is it's literally you just chilling writing code to see where it's going to take you, right? According to Google Cloud, this method allows anyone to create websites, applications, and other projects simply by describing their vision. According to IBM, this is a new approach to coding where users use natural language to communicate their intent, and AI creates executable code from those instructions. And here's the thing, this is why I kind of differentiate with this person's definition of vibe coding, is because you can write out all your user stories and your requirements that you would want the AI to implement, which if you're being that organized, it's not necessarily vibe coding. Because for me, if I'm just like randomly prompting this thing here, this thing there, or I'm randomly writing this code over here, or this code over there, that I would say would be more like vibe coding. You know, you said it was a vibe. But if I'm being organized, it doesn't feel like a vibe to me, right? Developers first used the term in early 2025 when they were creating full apps with platforms such as Replit, Shopify. Shopify uses vibe coding. Wix using conversational AI to perform tasks. Tasks that would have taken weeks to complete via traditional development methods are now often taking less than a day or even hours to complete. That's a fact. So why small businesses care? In 2025 Small Business Technology Report, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce highlighted that 58% of small businesses use generative AI, which is almost double that of 2023. And that's what I've been telling you, right? So many people they're like so terrified that these major companies, Amazon, Google, Tesla, I don't know if Tesla was ever announced about the AI part of it, but these big companies, right, that they are quote unquote downsizing, they're releasing employees due to AI. But I've always said that, number one, these companies grew too quickly. During the pandemic, and now they're just trying to right size their companies because they hired a bunch of people who were cheating the system. I mean, they were cheating the system too, these companies, right? Now they don't need them anymore. So they're like, oh, okay, we're downsizing and stuff like that. But with the rise of AI, that means the rise of small businesses because they have access to somewhat what these bigger companies have access to. While the bigger companies might be paying a software engineer $250,000, a small business who has nowhere near the need of what these large companies have, they're able to pay a monthly subscription and get their application running. And they can even hire a developer to monitor it and make sure, because I'll tell you this, as a business person, it is hard to manage building your own application and still have to worry about your main business. So they can still hire some type of person to manage this and work on it for them, but they don't have that as big of a price tag and for as many people as they need to actually get their application off the ground. So that is why vibe coding will. So let's take a look at this graph real quick. So 2023, 30% AI adoption, and 2025, just above 60% AI adoption. This is why vibe coding will be the next step, as it combines creative AI with real-world execution. Generating websites from prompts. Wix's AI website builder creates layouts, content, and images from a user-generated prompt to assist in creating a website for business. Instant online stores. This year, Shopify's new AI-powered store builder lets businesses build entire e-commerce sites complete with product images and descriptions just by telling it about your business. That's pretty cool. Apps by prompts. Replit's Agent 3 plans, codes, deploys apps based on conversations-based prompts, allowing non-technical users access to internal tools and dashboards. Rising stars in a crowded field. A growing number of startups, including Lovable and Bolt.new, are rapidly expanding their reach and helping entrepreneurs build full-stack web apps with no need for an engineering team. So, and I'll partially agree with this, right? And here's why I partially agree. You don't need a full engineering team, but you do need somebody tech savvy, because I have seen people who have built apps on Lovable and they get to a certain point and then they hit a brick wall because they didn't take the time to learn how to actually manipulate this code, because AI will give you 95% of the work, but that remaining 5%, sometimes you have to be a little bit more surgical, while AI is like a wrecking ball in a China shop. So that is why like I still do see the need that you have someone who is tech savvy enough. Maybe they've written a little bit of code that can go in there and guide stuff and know how to interact with the AI. Real world wins. Although vibe coding appears to be a futuristic concept, real businesses have achieved successful results. I have definitely, because guess what? According to their definition, the speech app is vibe coded. Resume, although I have spent countless hours of my own time like putting into these applications, they'll still be considered vibe coded, right? So it says Serpentity Web Design in the UK explained that by utilizing a vibe coding tool for the development of local directory application, cut 6 weeks of manual work as well as save around $8,000 in developer cost. It's telling you. The example shared the same overall theme. Teams built applications 10 times faster. Each team experienced quantifiable success. How to track ROI without a CFO. You don't need a complex financial analysis to evaluate the return on your investment for AI. In my article, 5 ways to measure AI ROI that actually works. So I'm going to have to look at that one. I'm definitely going to have to look at that. I provide a way to track benefits that are created from using AI technology by tracking time savings, cost avoidance, new revenue, quality improvement. Then you can put those results into this very easy to use formula. ROI equals benefit minus cost divided by cost times 100. So benefit minus cost divided by cost times 100. Okay. All right, example, tools plus time, $30 subscription, 20 hours at $75 per hour, $300 subscription plus $1,500 and $1,800 investment. Benefits: 2 new contracts, 8,000 plus 30 admin hours saved, $2,250. ROI: 8,000 plus 2,250 minus 1,800 equals $1,800, which is 470%. If you like structure, I have developed my 90-day AI playbook. All right, that's great. The hidden risk and how to avoid them. In 2025, a Veracode report revealed that 45% of AI-generated code had identified security vulnerabilities, including but not limited to poor authentication and unsecured APIs. OAuth, the open source or open web application security project, was concerned about this issue and developed a low-code, no-code top 10 checklist and is cautioning all small businesses to establish access controls to users, protecting their credentials, and confirm all integrations prior to going live. So what does this mean in practice? Insecure integrations, lock down your API key, poor authentication, never allow a login without requiring each person to use their own role, plain text data, backup regularly. Okay, 10-minute security. A 10-minute security scan or human code review will save you from nightmares downhill. So you always want to have like humans code review what AI does. Let me see. So I'm not gonna go through the 30-day starter plan. I'll drop the link in the chat and in the comments in case anybody is interested in reading this. But I'm not gonna go read through this whole list, right? But shout out to Don. Excellent article. I agree with a good majority of it. I agree with the good majority. All right. Let me see where we're at. Let's see. We are gonna go to So Junior says your sound is good now. You fixed it a while back. Okay, cool. Appreciate it. And Junior says, yeah, you're talking about me. Hit a brick wall because I was honestly not talking about you. But I will say, if you have not gotten back to it, Junior, don't stop. Ask questions, but don't stop. Use whatever credits that they give you for the month. Use that so that you can continue turning those wheels, because like you told me this, Junior, if you don't work out those muscles, they will atrophy. All right. Okay, let's jump into another 20-minute segment of work.
Let's go!
All right. We are over. We're gonna go to Amazon. So we're gonna. Well, I guess so. I'm not sure if my secrets are taking, but whatever. We need to get some credentials, which would be here. Access keys. Let's create some access keys. And root access. So, all right, root access keys are not recommended. We don't recommend creating root access keys because you can't specify the root user in a permission policy. You can't limit its permission, which is a best practice. Instead, alternative use IAM roles. And if your use case requires an access key, create an IAM user. All right, so what I'm going to do for now, I'm going to create an access key, but next time, maybe we'll create an IAM user and then assign that IAM user an access key and update our access key with that. But just for the sake of time, we're gonna use a access key over here, right? I'm not sure what's gonna show me, so I'm just gonna hide the screen real quick. Okay, I got it. So we are gonna go to, so I'm just gonna copy all this stuff in, okay? Because I don't need to show all of this. Okay. Let's go with done. All right, so we have our access key. And let me close this file. All right, cool, perfect. So now let's go back to over here. And I am going to start and stop again. update bucket name in the, so we need to update the bucket name inside of this function to, you must replace your Supabase bucket name and your output bucket name with the names of your actual S3 buckets. So would that be, so that's just S3 key and S3 region. Let me see. So I'm gonna have to create an S3 bucket. All right, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we're gonna, let me see if I hadn't created one. So let's go ahead and create a S3 bucket. And I'll call that speak precisely app. Copy that. And we will say ACL, all objects in the bucket are owned by this account. Access the bucket and its objects is specified by only policies. Right, I'm gonna go and say what permissions would I need for the S3 bucket? All right. So basically I asked what permissions I need for it to be able to use the bucket. And for Amazon Transcribe, to access your audio files and store the transcription results, you'll need to configure the permissions for two S3 buckets: the input bucket where your audio files are stored, and the output bucket where the transcription return. All right, so basically we need to rename this bucket over here to input. And we shall say we got that. And your Supabase bucket name. Output bucket for transcription results. All right, let me see. To get started, create two buckets. All right, let me go apply the bucket policy shown above to grant Amazon Transcribe the necessary. All right, so let's create these two buckets. Okay. Create the first bucket. And now let's create the other bucket. Wait, that's not right. Oops. There we go. Create bucket. Output. And we're going to say create bucket. All right, so the two buckets are created, the input and the output. Let me just filter down. All right, cool. Now, create the two buckets, apply the bucket policy shown above to grant Amazon Transcribe privileges. All right, so we need to go here, permissions, and we are going to say public access is blocked because our public access settings are turned on for this bucket. Okay. It's not really public access though, is it? Amazon Transcribe needs the S3 get object permission to read the audio files. The output bucket for transcription results needs S3 put object permissions to write. Okay. These permissions are granted by attaching a bucket policy to your S3 bucket. Additionally, the IAM user role and credentials will need. Okay. Would you like me to create a markdown file with example S3 bucket policies for your reference? Yes. Okay, so let's see what the file is. Okay, so over here, they're giving me the bucket policy that I need for the input bucket. So this is the input bucket. So I need to be able to take this code right here and set it into, let me just go to this view. I need to set it in here. So if we do save changes, is that gonna work? Nope. Probably hasn't about the resource. Service transcribe AWS audio. And I need my resource name, which would be, suppose it's this one. Oops. All right, let's try that again. Okay, there we go with the first one. Nice. Now, if you go to the second one and we do permissions, and we go to edit. Oh, not that one. Bucket policy. All right, there you go, bucket policy. Now we're going to take the next one. And we're going to paste it in here. And this one would be your output bucket, which would be, speak precisely dash app dash output. Oh, there it goes right there. Ha, look at that. It's right there. Let's put that in there. And we can save. And now we have our permissions in there. Now, in addition to the bucket policies, the IAM role whose credentials are used in the base function will need the transcribe start transcription job permission. You can add that permission to the IAM user or roles policy. All right, so the other thing that we need to do is, let me see. Not that. We need to go to IAM. That's what it is. IAM. And we need to go to we need to do the can add the permissions to IAM user or the user's policy. Let's just do it to the user for now. I think I'm logged in as this one. And then we want to do I think I should already have access to it, but let's do add permission, add permission. Let's do start transcription job. Or let's see, attach poly. Okay, add attach, and this is not the right way to, like, the long-term way to do it, but this is just so we can get this off the ground. Transcription. So this is the start transcription job. Start stream transcription. Guess we'll go with this one for now. Oops. Transcribe for, let's go with this one for now. Later on, we can make it a little bit more. All right, so everything is added. We have our transcription, which should allow us to do the start transcription. We have, let me see. We have, all right, so let's go back to over here. Okay, so that's done. So we have our .env file set up. We have our S3 bucket set up. We have our policy set up. Okay, so now let's see. I've added the S3 buckets, where do I define the S3 buckets in this code though? Those are the policies. Okay, whatever. So we're gonna say, I've added the S3 buckets to AWS with the permissions. I have created the policy. Created the policy, added the .env variables. What next needs to be done so that we can test out the application? All right, so let's see what it's going to tell us that we need to do next in order for us to be able to actually be able to test out the app. Let's see. File not found. Speak precisely AI. Let's see. All right. I had put the .env file inside the Supabase functions folder inside of the speak precisely. Should it not be in the Supabase functions folder? Whatever, I spelled functions wrong, but whatever. Let me see. That's a great question. Supabase edge functions have a specific way of handling environment variables, and placing the .env file directly in the is not the standard approach. The recommended way to manage secrets environment is to use Supabase secrets management system. When you're setting up a Supabase secret, the secret becomes available as an environment variable to all your edge functions. Since you've already created the .env file, the easiest plan is to read the value from that file. All right, so I'm going to say when I try to use the Supabase secret set, it was trying to add it to my cloud Supabase environment as opposed to the local install of Supabase. All right, let's see. Your great job, you jerk, showing it all off. All right, we'll have to delete those keys after. Let's see. I will delete those keys after. Wasn't expecting it to show it in plain text. You've run into a common point of confusion with local Supabase development. The Supabase secret commands are intended for your hosted Supabase projects, not your local development. For local development, Supabase handles environment variables differently. Instead of using Supabase secrets, you should create a .env in the Supabase directory. This will automatically loaded when you run Supabase start, which is what I did. Since you've already created a .env file in the Supabase functions, you're very in the Supabase functions, you're very close. The correct location is okay. So I put it in the wrong location. I will move it. Okay. Run command. Now that it is in the correct location, your local Supabase instance will automatically load the AWS credentials. The final step is to update the Supabase edge function with your S3 bucket names. Okay, so now we need to go into the S3 edge functions inside of here, and we need to find. So here, bucket name. Let's go and get that. So this is the output bucket name over here. And this would be the input, right? Okay, perfect. Now, okay, I updated myself. I wonder, did I make a mistake here? Oh no, it was just output bucket name. All right, gotcha. Bucket where Transcribe saves the results. Hopefully that's right. Okay, so excellent with the .env file in the correct location, and your S3 bucket names updated in the edge function. You're now ready to test the application. Here's a summary of
Lunch break.
So we got the credentials, S3 bucket permission. You have configured the necessary S3 bucket policies. All right. Supabase edge function, the speech to text function is now fully configured to use your AWS credentials. You can now run the application and test the full transcription. All right. So when we get back from break, we will actually give it a try we're going to give it a try to use the app, see if it's able to, and we'll be monitoring the bucket to see if a file is going to try to get uploaded there or if we get any errors, right? But a lot of progress has been made. All right, it is break time. Let me check the chat and then we will get to our very, very next break time topic. All right, so here we are. Annoying. Okay. All right, so let me see. Junior says, yes, I definitely need to get back to it. You have the resources. You have the people in your corner. I got my guy, MeMySify, in the building. Says, good evening, sir. Hope all is well. I am doing great. Hopefully you are doing well and better yourself. MeMySify says, question. I'm interested in learning the CompTIA Plus certification program. I have a copy of the program from 2012. The question is that version worth learning or is it too outdated? I am going to say that possibly the fundamentals will be decent, but 2025 going to 2020 going into 2026 and 2012, that's about 14 years old. It's I'm pretty sure it's outdated because there's probably new concepts and new ways of doing things. So it's most likely outdated. Probably the first chapter, maybe the first two chapters would probably still be somewhat relevant because they're going to start off at the basic. But I think you probably need to get an updated book or an updated program to be, because I mean, since 2012, we've been through AI, we've been through so many different iterations of stuff. So I would definitely look for an updated version to see what the changes are. But I would start off. It's a good start, but it's not gonna take you there. Junior says, I just opened up my prayer app on Lovable and all my prayer requests are gone. I had to go into Superbase and resume my project because it was paused. That is something, because the thing is with Superbase is because it's like a cloud hosting and infrastructure and stuff like that, they will give you it for free, the free account, as long as you use it. If you haven't used it in 7 days, they are going to pause your project for up to 90 days before they get rid of it. That's why you always have to keep using your apps and keep building and strategizing and stuff like that. But I'm happy you got it back before it was too late. All right, we are going to be getting into this break time topic, which is an ex-Amazon vice president speaks, ex-AWS to be exact, vice president speaks on performance improvement plans and Amazon stack ranking. All right. I actually watched the full video earlier this week and I was like, wow, this is pretty amazing. I wanted to review parts of it and I will drop the full video in the description of this video, as well as when I clip it up, you'll get it in that one as well. But it was really, really interesting how he broke down him coming up through the ranks from different companies and how he got into Amazon and how like pretty much everything went down, right? So I want to watch that with you today, and then we shall talk about it, right? So let's go over to here and here. And what is it? I forgot the guy's name. He'll probably say it in the video, right? But this was on the Peterman Pod Clips, or I guess Peterman Podcast, which would be, can't highlight it, but the guy on the right or on the left, and the ex-Amazon manager, ex-Amazon VP is the guy with the white hair on the right, closer to me. All right, so let's watch it. Let's start watching. I'll be pausing in between to give some commentary, because I referenced to this video, maybe to the full video in the candid conversations that we're going to be having tomorrow, because what he was saying actually made me rethink some positions that I had in the past. Like it made me enhance them, not necessarily go away from them, but kind of enhance what I was thinking before in how to navigate and how to strategize when dealing with the upper management, all right, and even with your manager, all right. So let's start it off and see what's going on.
With your tenure as a manager at Amazon, I kind of wanted to talk about management practices like stack ranking, performance-based layoffs, PIPs, those types of things. So I'm curious, Amazon's pretty famous for stack ranking and, really aggressively managing people out.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on these types of systems?
About 10 years ago, Amazon.
So before he breaks down his thoughts on stack ranking, what exactly is stack ranking? Well, let's find out first. Let's find out what is stack ranking. We're going to go to chat and we're going to go to say, I am watching a video about from a video interviewing an ex Amazon AWS VP in engineering, and he mentioned how Amazon does stack ranking. Can you explain in an easy to understand way what is stack ranking? So it's important to, because this is what he's going to be talking about is very, very important, but it's also necessary for you to understand what exactly is stack ranking, so that once he's explaining it, you can understand the context and and how it works, right? So let me zoom in on this a little bit. All right, so Let's see. Here is an easy to understand explanation of stack ranking. In short, stack ranking is a performance review system where you are graded against your teammates, not against fixed goals. So you are now, when I was listening to this, I didn't see it like this, but if they're ranking you against your coworkers, then they're technically making you compete against each other. That's interesting. It says, imagine your manager has a team of 10 people. In a normal review, the manager could say, everyone did a great job and met their goals, so everyone is getting a high rating. In stack ranking, also called force ranking, the company forces the manager to grade on a curve. They might be told the top two people must be rated as top performers, the middle 7 must be rated as average, and the bottom 1 person must be rated as a low performer. So what's the point? The theory behind it is to rank and yank. Reward the top 20 get the biggest bonuses, stock options, and promotions. Manage out the bottom. The bottom 10% are often put on a performance improvement plan, a PIP, and are the first to be let go if they don't improve quickly. And what he's going to tell you in this video is going to blow your mind around PIPs. Right? This forces managers to make tough decisions and prevent grade inflation, where everyone is told they're doing great. I see pros and cons. There are pros and cons to this, I can see. So Amazon's version. As the VP you're watching probably mentioned, Amazon is famous for this system, though they often use internal names for it. The cutthroat culture. It's a major reason you hear stories about Amazon's competitive and sometimes toxic or cutthroat work environment. The problem, even if you're on a dream team of 10 superstars, the manager is still forced to pick one of them to be the bottom of the list. The justification. Amazon's leadership has historically believed this is how they maintain an extremely high bar for talent. They want to constantly raise the bar by trimming the bottom performers and rewarding the very best. But it does sound toxic, but even if you're the bottom, this might be a stretch, but is it possible that the bottom rank at Amazon might be the top rank at a smaller company? But you don't get that name recognition. Say, I work at Amazon. I work at Amazon. I had lunch with Jeff Bezos. Right? This system is controversial because critics argue it kills teamwork. Why would I help you if I'm ranked against you? And punishes good employees who just happen to be on a great team. This is the one that we're watching, like the interview with Ethan Evans. That's the one that we're talking about. Okay, cool. So let's go back to the video, right? But I will say this. I understand it, but it is kind of messed up to be put against the people that you work with, all right? So anyways, let's get back to the video.
Ran an experiment where, after getting years of bad press for stack ranking, they removed what was called the unregretted attrition goal. So Amazon has a goal every year for what they call unregretted attrition, which means people, it's a nice way of saying people we want to leave. And we don't care if you pressure them into quitting or they get fired. It's just there's a number, and you put people on a list of folks you want out, and you can either improve their performance to where you take them off the list, they can quit, or you can fire them. But you have to hit a goal, and it's usually like 7% a year. Sometimes it's as low as 4, sometimes it's as much as 7. Amazon.
That is a crazy goal. But here's the thing. Because this is a VP who's speaking. How do you know that your company doesn't secretly have those practices as well? Or how do you know there's not already a list that gets updated for if times get hard, who's the first on the proverbial kill list? That's why, for me, I'm always like 24/7, 365. I'm working. I'm strategizing. Right?
uses lots of words to kind of cloak this process, but the bottom line is it's fire the bottom 5% or so. Here's the thing. When we remove the goal, managers immediately stop having hard conversation and talking to their struggling performers, because without the pressure of having to do it, it was just easier to focus on your good people and let that problem person hang around, because it's not, in a big company, it's not costing your burn rate that you know about or care about, and you don't have to have that unpleasant conversation, and you also don't have to be the bad guy. One of the
That part right there, I was like, I see the point. And it sucks because this is why it sucks, right? Because the managers might not be like, they don't want that confrontation. They don't want to have to tell somebody they're doing bad. So now upper management has to put these processes in place to wrangle in the managers, because then that starts, and that affects the employees. So because you don't want to have a tough conversation with your employee, now upper management has to say, well, we need to have this 5% kill this. That's rough. That is rough.
worst things about being a manager is you may have someone who isn't very good, but is well-liked. They're friendly, they're outgoing, they bring donuts, they organize the parties, everybody likes them. And so now you have to not only have a hard conversation with them, but if you do move them out, or if they talk to other people like, Ethan's trying to fire me, then everybody's like, why are you trying to fire Ryan? He's awesome, we love him. Well, it may be that, you have lots of performance problems, but other people aren't seeing those. So when we remove the goal, people stop having the hard conversation.
He is right. As crappy as the process sounds, and knowing that there's a list and that every year we have to get rid of all right, let's be fair though. And here's the tough part, because you can have an elite team and you have to get rid of a great person. But the question is, should companies always be looking to get better and removing people who they believe are not contributing but then there's always going to be somebody who's not contributing as much, right? That's a tricky dynamic. I understand what he's saying, but the execution of it, that's crazy.
So the next year, Amazon put it back, and it's kept it every year since. So on the one hand, many managers avoid actually performance managing if they're not forced at gunpoint. An unfortunate truth. On the other hand, because there's a list and because there's a goal, you would then be in a situation where someone who had a chance to succeed, maybe, you had to put on the list to make your quota, and you ask how well the PIPs were. I think most PIPs are a combination of dishonest and or psychologically unrealistic. Because once I've decided that I'm going to put you on this list, or once I've decided you're enough of a problem that I need to write up this plan and have this ugly conversation with you, mentally I've already moved to, we have to get rid of Ethan, right? We have to get rid of Ryan. They're not good. Recovering, it sort of doesn't matter what you do unless it's amazing. I've already decided, and so my cognitive bias is going to be self-fulfilling. So what I recommend, this has happened. I coach people. I have had half a dozen people reach out to me for coaching and say, I was just put on a PIP at Amazon. I really want to succeed. Help me. And I've tried, and they've all gotten fired. And so now when people call me, this is funny, they call me and they say, I'm on a PIP. And I'm like, so what you need to do is spend that time on the PIP looking for your next job, because you're going to be fired. And they're like, no.
And I remember I used to have this conversation with your car back in the days about the PIP, and what this guy is saying is right. Once you're on the PIP, you're pretty much fired, right? However, in rare instances, you might be able to recover, but here is my updated 2025 going to 2026 advice for all you PIPers, for all you who are on a PIP, right? I would say work like hell to not necessarily get off the PIP. I mean, the goal would be hopefully to get off the PIP. But the problem is, even if you get off the PIP, right, you still have that stench, that stigma of, that's the guy that was on the PIP. That's the gal that was on the PIP. So now you just climbed out of being on the bottom to being on the baseline. But the reason I say work like hell to get off the PIP, because in that time, it is going to start to train you and prepare you for your next role where if you had worked the way that you're working now, you wouldn't have been on the PIP in the first place. So now you are in detention. You're in work solitary confinement, so that you can actually get prepared for when you're released and you're a free agent and you have to go. So start looking for a new job while you're on that PIP. But you need to actually fix the reason that you got onto that PIP in the first place. So even if the likelihood is very high that you're going to get fired anyways, you should still, because I've seen people get on a PIP and then like a week or two later, then they're out of there. It's supposed to be a 90-day PIP. They can't last in 2 weeks. But use it to somewhat of your advantage, right? You put yourself in that situation. Now you need to take advantage, like not take advantage, but you need to like do whatever it is that they're telling you to do so you can get better for the future, for your next role, because if they ask you, oh, what happened at Amazon? Are you going to tell them, well, I was on a PIP and I couldn't make it? You have to write your own story, okay?
Oh no, I'm going to overcome it. I'm like, good luck with that. Tell me what happened. And 3 months later, I get a note that says, you were right, I was fired. And the reason I state both people I coach and people I don't is, of course, you could suspect, well, maybe I'm a lousy coach and I didn't dig them out of the hole. But the people I didn't coach got fired too. It's a like once you're at that stage, it's gonna happen. Very few people ever dig out of them. Now, I believe some managers in their minds start a PIP with honest, good intention. But at least at Amazon, you have your HR business partner and your boss asking you all the time, how's it going? When are we gonna exit that person? I need them on my quota. You know, if you actually wanna take someone off a PIP, more than likely, your manager is going to be saying, well, who else are you gonna put on? Because we still have to meet the number. So you're looking around and you're like, well, I put the lowest performing person on my team on, and now I'm being told if I take them off of PIP, I have to put somebody else on. So of course you're like, well, so the conclusion is companies stink at performance management. They don't train managers how to do it. They don't train managers how to have the conversation early.
I don't really think any company has a good performance management or a way. Is there a way to train performance management? And I don't want to say this, but I don't want to say this, but is it even worth to put people on a PIP at this point? Is it worth it? Because even if they change drastically, and he's telling you, right, when they go on this PIP, it's like a very, very long. You ever been to the airport before? You're flying, and depending on the size of the airport, you might have those little walkways where it's just how would I call this thing? It's like, it's not an escalator because it's flat, but it just, you stand and it just takes you across, and most people walk through it anyways. It's just a long way to the exit. But I still believe that you should take that time to figure out what you did wrong so that you don't make that same mistake again. I'm going to break down tomorrow in the video about promotions, about chasing promotions, on how you might find yourself on a PIP.
They don't create a system where you can talk to people and say, you know, this isn't working out. Maybe you want to leave, because that opens you up to a lawsuit. We just have a dysfunctional performance system.
In your writing, you wrote something that said, a manager can fire anyone they want, and HR is not there to protect you. I would have thought there's checks and balances to this, that is not true. I guess I would hope that it's not true. What is stopping a manager from painting their report in an unfair light? Or is there nothing stopping that?
I love that you call this out. I agree with what I wrote. The nuance is, as a manager, I could get rid of any one employee I wanted, but I can't get rid of every employee. And so if I create a pattern where I'm driving one employee after another out, I will eventually get caught and burned for that. Because we do look at what is a manager's turnover rate. My point was, for any single employee, I can absolutely, if I choose to, end that person's career at my company. And at Amazon, it's as simple as put them on this list. It's partly who strikes first. So by the time you go to HR, I've already put you on this list and told my story of why I think you're bad. And now you're going, no, it's unfair. He hates me. Well, the problem is all the people they've heard from who are legitimately bad are saying the same thing. right? They're saying, no, I'm actually good. It's my boss hates me and doesn't understand me. So they hear that story every day. So when you legitimately tell it and it's actually true and it's just, I hate you, you end up sounding like everyone else. And so that's why it's stacked in my favor. Now, I have never done this, but I've looked at the system and just seen, I have people all the time who say, well, my boss told a lie about me. Well, again, it's your word versus mine, and I'm the one who's got the higher level, maybe the more tenure. If I choose to say, well, you know, Ryan looks really busy, but he's mostly just doing pull requests on other people's code, I can downplay what you're doing. Because see, I can tell this story of Ryan is an amazing engineer. He makes everybody's code better because he does all these insightful reviews and he's up-leveling the whole team. That's narrative one. Same facts. He did 700 pull requests this quarter or whatever. Narrative two is, you know, Ryan actually doesn't contribute much. He thinks he does, and he spends all this time doing code reviews, but look at how little he's actually written himself. And really, he's just busy nitpicking people and churning away. And sure, his numbers look good, but those numbers are actually a sign of the problem. Now, I pay.
And as they say, history is always written by the victors. Do you see how he easily spent the same exact thing being done? He spent it in a good light and he spent it in a bad light. Simple as that.
In your same performance and spun it two ways. My point that people aren't going to like is a manager can do that. And maybe they're doing that because they're a jerk and they've decided you threaten them and they want to get rid of you. Maybe they just have a different view. You think you're doing really valuable stuff and they don't, and they're saying what they honestly believe. But the point is, performance that you would think is really easy to measure, like look at these numbers, look how many valuable code reviews I did, can be used either way. Nothing about software engineering performance is so objective. And so bad managers, truly bad or evil managers, do get caught eventually, but clever managers who just want to get rid of one person would be able to do that because they're in the driver's seat, and more importantly, they get to make the preemptive strike. They get to tell the story about why that person's a problem before that person ever knows it's happening. And so it's kind of like, yes, you can slap the mosquito after it bites you, but it doesn't take away being bitten.
I mean, it's unfortunate that that's true, but it also illustrates the power of storytelling in a way. The exact same facts can be spun as a bad thing, or
that's just what I was saying, right? Like the same exact information, the facts, right? Facts don't care about your feelings. But you know what? You know what doesn't care about the facts? The way that you tell the story. The way that you spin the narrative.
a good thing. So
people are going to hear this and believe like, oh, see, managers are just like personally firing people because they hate them. I am sure that happens. It's not in a manager's best interest. They're judged on accomplishing their goals. Good managers are trying to find partners they can work with that will help everyone achieve. I just want to be honest that if you do have a difficult boss and you make them angry and they're a vindictive sort of person, beware. They hold, like you're bringing a knife to a gunfight. They're the one with the gun and you're probably going to lose. If you have a boss like that, don't get in the knife or gunfight. Either figure out what you can allow you to make friends with them or find a different manager. That's the actual point. Don't think that somehow HR is going to come investigate and rescue you.
I agree. Like he's just sharing the information, right? We have to be strategic. We like at the beginning of the show, we were talking about wise as serpents, harmless as doves. You got to be strategic. You have to be a team player. Remember on Tuesday, was it? We did the questionnaire about what type of team player are you? What am I? I came out with the achiever, right? You have to be very, very strategic in everything that you do. How you communicate with your coworkers. Because some people, they will straight up have a nasty attitude, and that destroys team morale, company morale. Companies are looking for a good fit as just as equally as you know how to do the work. Sometimes companies will go down on a little bit down on skill set because they know people can learn and get better so that they can have a good fit. Because more times than none, people leave, people quit, people get fired because they don't like their manager, they can't work with their team, all these different things. And it's not about the technicality of the job. So I'm always saying, be strategic, always looking to learn, always looking to solve problems, always looking to level up, always volunteering to help the team, continue to grow yourself, your progress as well. All right. But that is, I will post the full video in the description of this video so that you can watch the whole thing. It's about an hour long. It is very, very well worth it to see from a VP perspective how things go down. Because we can have that vision, that viewpoint, that vantage point from an employee perspective, from an individual contributor perspective, but to see it how, and he talks about promotions as well, which I piggybacked off that in tomorrow's video, but he talked about promotions and really good stuff. Right. Anyways, that is that one. That is that one. Let's go to back over here. All right. Check the chat and then we will test out the app. Let me see. I need to. Junior says, see, making changes as we speak. And that is the purpose of these live streams. I want to work with you guys. I want to work in parallel with you. While I'm working, you're working, we're all working together. Let me see. Junior says, let's see. I think you're right. A PIP could be a waste of time. I mean, being on it, trying to get off of it, it's 99% chance you're not going to make it off of it, right? But you should use the opportunity to address the reason that you got on the PIP in the first place and make adjustments so that you do not find yourself in that position again in the future. Junior says, he has some very good points. All things can be used for good are sometimes misused. Yep, definitely. I get it, but it's a maybe, I mean, to be fair though, for a company that has 1 million employees, you might need that type of system. A company with about 100 employees, that system's not going to work. But for as big as they are and people always wanting to work for them, they might be keeping the cycle going to see, okay, let's get rid of the bottom, let's bring in some new, and let's keep recycling. If you really want to be here, you got to fight for it. It could be the Hunger Games of tech. It could be the Hunger Games of tech. All right. Okay. Let's get into this last segment of work. Okay. All right. Let's go to let's put last 20 minutes.
It's time to do.
Okay, so basically they are saying to start the application. And, okay, so I need a mobile device, but they're saying start the application and then we should be able to see something happening. All right, so I'm going to go here and we're going to go to Pixel 8, run. And it should pop up on this thing. All right, the app is started. I don't remember what the password was for it. What was the password? Let me see if I can find it. I don't remember what the password was that we used for this. Let's hide this. And let's go to try to record, but okay, so we need to find what, I don't remember what password we used. Okay, let me see. Let me pop this one out too. We did Username and password, but we use or do I have it in the Supabase already? Hold on, let me see. Might have it. Authentication. Oh, it's not even there. All right, let me create a new user. Yeah, it's like it totally wiped out my Supabase. So I'm in Supabase creating a user right now. Test@test.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Auto confirm. All right, cool. So we're gonna go to test@test.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it has this. Start new session. We are going to click record. And we are on a live stream testing out the Speak Precisely app to see if it's going to record, if it's going to upload the information to Amazon Transcribe to see how it's working, to catch every time we say and like, and see how fast that we're speaking, give us our words per minute, so that we can build this app to help people have better communication skills so they can speak confidently, to present to others, to talk on camera, to say less, all that good stuff, right? So let's see if this actually worked. And let's go to console.aws. Let's go to S3. Let's see if this works. All right, so we're going to click on Analyze. And I should have some logs showing somewhere. All right, let's do. All right, so I have, let's do it like this. Let's go to open this up. All right, so we're gonna do the double screen view because we wanna be able to see if it's going to, so I have AWS, I have the app. I'm gonna click on Analyze to see if we get any errors. That was too quick. So that did not work. Okay, so it is not uploading from what I can see. Okay, so we shall say that, let's go to, where's the last one that we used? Let's go to task. Okay, so I just tried a recording and I still got the, let's go back to over here. Oh, wrong one. Let's go to here. And let's say, I still got the placeholder text in the application, and I didn't see anything uploaded to, I didn't see anything uploaded to the S3 bucket. Another thing to take a look at as well is our Supabase. And we can go to edge functions. I don't see the edge function here though. Huh. Okay, so I can also say that looking at my local Supabase, I don't see the edge function, local Supabase UI. I don't see the edge function in it either. Did I misconfigure something? We're getting close. We're getting close. All right. Let's see. Seems like you're running into a space configuration issue where your text-to-speech function isn't being deployed or invoked correctly. I'll start by checking your space configuration to ensure everything is set up as expected. First out. Oh, you know what it might be? It might be the key might have changed. I noticed that there isn't a specific configuration block for the speech to text function. Subase requires an entry for each edge function to properly manage and serve it. To fix this, I will add the necessary function section. Now that it's correct, the next step is to ensure Subase instance is running with the updated configuration. A common cause of issues like this is the Docker containers are not aware of the change. Okay, that makes sense. Subase stop. I can do that myself. I want to go and take a look at, let me take a look at this config toml thingy. Where does, okay, let's see. So project ID, speak precisely AI. Okay, so let's stop it and start over again. So let's go to npx stop and then npx start. All right, it's starting. All right, let me see if I refresh this. I still don't see it in here. Okay. I stopped and started it manually. I'm not sure if the function is running though. Let's see what they say. The user has restarted Subase manually, but they're unsure if it's running. Okay, Subase status. What does that tell us? I can run that myself. Subase status. Oh, npx Subase status. Doesn't really tell me much. Let's run it. Can I edit this command? Npx. It appears the command is not in your path. Let's try to update. Npx Subase status. Or not. Okay, so when I do, okay, whatever. Let's go to when I do npx status, this is what I get, but I don't know, or is there a way that I can see what functions have been served? I can actually ask that to Gemini, to be honest. I'd rather ask that to Gemini. Let's go to, is there a way to see what functions have been served in, I guess I should say in Subase. Let me stop that. In Subase. Let's specify that. when you run function, so when you run function, super-based function serve, the terminal that you use for the command becomes your log for all local served functions. See what's being served. npx base function serve. The CLI will boot up and show you the local URL for your functions. Let's try it, I guess. Let's go here. npx super base function serve. Oh shoot. Wait, no, that's right. Unknown. All right, did I put it in wrong? It is. Oh, functions. Okay, so it is there. Okay. So if it's there, let's try to run it again. Start new session. Testing out the app to see if it is able to record. Let's see how it's going. Can you hear me? Am I using filler words? I want to see if it's going to make it to the Amazon S3 bucket. Okay, we got that. I would like a log to see if it's going into the. All right, so let's try analyze. It is still giving me the placeholder text. I don't think the app is kicking off the. I don't think the app is kicking off the. I don't think the app is kicking off the. Start recording. Let me see. All right. I confirmed the function is being loaded in Supabase. Let me see something real quick. Yep, okay. However, the app is still showing dummy data. Can we verify that the app is sending the recorded video to the function so that it can upload to AWS? I'm going to say this is a debug. Oh, so now that we've confirmed that the function is loaded, let's investigate the client side to see how it's invoking the function. I'll start by examining the transcription service of file as its name suggests. It's responsible for handling the transcription process. This will help us understand how the audio data is being sent. After reviewing, I identified a potential issue on line 19 storage response. Object is being passed directly as a file path, but the edge function likely expects a string representing the file path, not an entire response object. To confirm, I'll examine the function to see how it processes the file path. This will help us understand the expected input format. I've examined it, and the function confirmed expected a simple string for the file path parameter. However, the client-side code in transcription service is sending the entire storage. To fix, I will modify transcription service. All right, now that it is there, to fix this, I will first add a get transcription job command to pull the job completion status. Once the job is complete, all right, let's see. Add logging to the clients. Okay, good. That's what I wanted. Now please record another. The logs in Flutter should show the file path and sent. Okay, perfect. So that's what I want. Let's stop and start it again. Okay, let's start another session and we are going to give it another go. I am recording another video or another audio for the Speak Precisely app as we are testing it and prototyping it to make sure that it's able to record and upload to AWS S3 bucket so that we can see that it is actually working the way that we want it to work. Okay, so we stop, and now if we analyze, is it going to send it over? Let's see. Well, it's still giving us fake information. Let's see. I don't see. Okay, so I see this path. I don't know if it actually sent that path over to the. Let me see, because I don't see the. Inside of the edge functions, I don't see the developing edge functions. I feel like I should be able to see it though. Okay. All right. So let's say I did another test and I still got the dummy data and I don't see anything in the logs for it. Because I should see this somewhere. Let me copy that. Nope, it's not in there. It's not in there. All right, let's see what else. The search results confirm that get transcript is defined. All right, where is what I just... All right, it's strange. You're not seeing any logs. This could mean that the get transcript function in transcription service is not being called to at all. To investigate this, I'll need to find where the transcription service is being used. All right, the search results confirm that get is defined, okay, but it doesn't show where the function is being called from. This is a strong indicator that the function is not being invoked at all, which would explain why you're not seeing any logs. To figure out where that call should be, I'll examine the recording page. Okay, I've examined this. I found the problem. The analyze button on press handler navigates directly to the analyze report page without ever calling the transcription service. This is why you're not seeing any logs and still getting dummy data. To fix this, I will create a new analyze recording function that will be responsible for calling the transcription service and passing the transcript to the analysis report page. Then I'll update the analyze button on press handler to call the new function. Okay, it's correctly calling. I need to update the analysis report page to accept the display and display the transcript. I'll modify. Okay, cool. It seems that the content of analysis is different from what I'm expecting. Causing apply diff to fail. I apologize for that. I'll read the file to get its current content and apply the next. All right, cool. Okay, thank you for providing the updated content. Now that I have the correct file content, I can apply the necessary changes. I will modify analysis report to accept the transcript as the parameter. Now I've now wired up the recording page to call the transcription service and pass the transcript to the analysis report page. All the necessary client-side changes should be in place. Please give it another try. All right, so before we end the show, we are going to give it one more try. We're gonna give it one more try. All right. Let's see if we go to stop the app and we're going to start it again. Oh, what just happened? All right, we cannot end the show on this type of note. All right. I'm gonna copy this error because this is unacceptable way to end the show. I tried to start the app, but I got this error. I apologize. It seems I made a mistake in how I handled the storage response. The Super-based upload method returns a string. To fix this, I will modify this to use a stored response string directly. Okay, perfect. So now we will try it again. Let's try to run it. All right, let's do another session. This is our final test for today's live stream, hoping that we can get this transcription done and analyzed, uploaded to AWS, and I don't know if we did it, I don't think we set up any AI to analyze it yet, but we can always do that next week. But I would love to see if the Speak Precisely app was able to record and upload the input, and then maybe next week we can do the output. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's stop the recording. All right, we have stopped the recording, and now we are going to click on the Analyze button. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Aw. It says that, well, it didn't give us the dummy screen. It did not give us a dummy screen, but it says error analyzing recording, path not found, cannot open file, path temp.wave, no such file or directory. However, this is progress though. This is progress because we're not getting the dummy screen anymore. So that is fixed, but now we just have to make sure that we're getting the right file. So I will say, I'm just, you know what? I cannot finish like this. Let's see if we can get this part to work, and then we can go to the next step, right? I will say, okay, it cannot find the recorded file. I got this error this now. Because I would love if we can get this uploaded to AWS. Okay, so I will need to, I'll run this manually because I know that it won't be able to do it. Stop that. Let's run that. Expected to find project root in current working directory. What? Oh. Hold on. Let me go to this terminal instead. What? ls cd speak precisely AI. What? No, what? Expected to find. All right. See what? Expected to find project root in current working directory. Where is my project root? It's not the source folder, not Supabase. All right, let's do this. Which Flutter, and we're going to copy that right there, and we're going to let me see if that one works. Okay, that works. Okay, now the path provider package has been added. I'll modify recording Dart to use it. I'll import the necessary packages. All right, so, all right, last try for real. This is our last try for today, all right? Because I'm getting tired of saying the same things over and over anyway, so. What's the project root at this point? I don't even know. Is it this? No. Is it this? Oh, it must be this is the project root. All right, so we're going to do start and one more. This is our last attempt, our very, very last attempt for today before we wrap it up and take this back on next week, Sunday. Is the recording going to be able to record and hopefully upload to Amazon for analysis? I am not sure. Let's find out. All right, we have stopped. We're now going to click on the analyze button to see what happens. And So we got a better error, right? This is a better error. This is saying that the bucket not found status code 404. With that one, I can live with. So that means next week we have to start to investigate what is the storage exception that we're getting. So we can try to do a recording next week, get the exception, and then we can start to troubleshoot to see why it cannot find our bucket. That's where we're going to leave it. This is an acceptable landing spot for me. I can live with that. All right. So, and we've already been going for 2.5 hours, right? So now that, my friend, is it. I am okay with this. I'm okay with this. We're good. All right. I'm going to check the chat and I'm going to say our final words before we get up and out of here. Right. Let's see. So Junior says, I think what makes the Lovable app so hard for me is because I can't see the errors and knowing what exactly went wrong because I'm using it on an iPad. So I'm guessing and prompting. You know what it sounds like to me, Junior? It sounds to me like, do I have this? Let me see. Give me a second. I'm gonna show you what it sounds like to me. Give me a second. Let's go over here. And, oh, I don't have it. So close, but I don't have it. Do I have it? Oh, wait, is it? Oh, there we go. Junior, it sounds like this. That's not the one. I don't know what happened to it. I used to have, I don't know what happened to it. Oh, well. But it sounds like, Junior, that you are prompting on a prayer. It sounds like I was trying to find that song. I can't find it. Next time. But sounds like you were prompting on a prayer, Junior. Junior, this quote right here is from the book of Ralph. The book of Ralph, right? Man shall not live off of iPad alone. I repeat, man shall not live off of iPad alone. I am sure that Rod Brown is going to get on me for that quote, but it's true. You cannot live off the iPad alone, right? Junior says, for real. I'm telling you. That's a great stream, as usual, with great information. Thank you so much, Junior.
I appreciate you.
All right, on our way out. Remember, tomorrow, Candid Conversation, noon Eastern time, talking about promotions. Are you chasing a promotion? We're going to talk about that. We're going to be live Tuesday night, working most likely on the other mobile app, the time cost calculator, adding some more tests around it. And then we can, because we added the test for the Pomodoro, although it needs a little bit more work. We're going to be adding some other tests so that we can get the app in a very good state. So when we do add more features, we don't have any bugs when we deploy it, right? Or at least a lot less bugs. That's everything. There is no Scrum night tonight. For anybody who's planning to join, no Scrum night tonight. It will be tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. It's gonna be in 2 weeks. It's gonna be in 2 weeks. All right. Next week we have Vibe Code and Chill. That's about everything. Check out resumeflow.app. Upload your resume. Get some feedback. Sign up for the wait list at thrive.techcoachralph.dev so that you can start using the platform that I have built for self-coaching and for one-on-one coaching. Maybe I might open it up to other coaches as well if they're interested in something like that, if they have some ideas. We shall see. But that is where we're at. That is everything. Lastly, Junior says, you can't find prompting on a prayer. I thought I had it saved locally. I was going to drop it into the thing to play it, but I don't. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I will download it again and I will have it available next time. All right. But that's everything. That is everything for today. You guys go enjoy the rest of your Sunday, the rest of your weekend. Let's keep it productive. I'm open 24/7, 365. With that being said, Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
Spartans! What is your profession?
They think I sleep. They think I got a do not disturb sign. The console is always open, the chat is always live. 2 a.m., 2 p.m. It's all just time to work. Y'all see the product, you don't see the clock. Let's run it.
Doesn't have an off switch. He just has a drive 3 a.m. The code is lit, keeping the whole dream alive. No problem, it's too big. No detail, it's too small. He won't ever quit. He's gonna hunt it down and fix it all.
Check the timestamps on the chat, this ain't no 9 to 5. I'm pinging Gemini at 4, I'm barely alive. But the mind is buzzing, got a new idea flowing. Sun is coming up and my idea's glowing. They see a new app, think it's overnight. They don't see the dark, just the shining light. They don't see the coffee cup, the bloodshot eyes. Just the finished product in the clean UI. I am not the one, man, I am not the type to see a single issue and just let it hype me out of my focus, now I zoom right in. This is dedication, it's the will to win.
Doesn't have an off switch. He just has a drive 3 a.m. The code is lit, keeping the whole dream alive. No problem, it's too big. No details, too small. He won't ever quit. He's gonna hunt it down and fix it all.
Yeah, remember when we hit the launch? Had a bug in production, had to be stoned. Tell the parcel wasn't parcel, the PDF was skewed. Users in the comments, man, this app is rude. Most of the way to Monday, I was on it then. 1 a.m. just me, the AI, and a pen. Give me 5 scenarios for this data leak. Why's the API responding so damn weak? We hunted down that glitch, me and the assist. Found a broken promise in the try-catch list. Patched it back and call, fixed the CSS. That's the no problem, too small kind of test.
And when the bug is squashed and the site is running clean, his mind is moving on to the next big scene. He's asking what's the feature, what's a better way to build. His cup is never full, it's just waiting to be filled.
That's the other level, we don't just maintain. We use the AI partner to evolve the brain. What's a new feature for the coaching app? How can eloquent give them better feedback? Give me 10 ideas for the content too. Make them innovative, make them new school. This ain't work-life balance, this is work-life blend. This a partnership, it's never gone in. No limit on the vision, no cap on the work. From a tiny typo to a universe. Yeah, I built it from the ground up. Now we pouring wins in a brand new cup.
Don't have an off switch. He just has a drive 3 a.m. The code is lit, keeping the whole dream alive. No problem, it's too big. No detail, it's too small. He won't ever quit. He's gonna hunt it down and fix it all. He don't have an off switch.